So guys, welcome to Walkthrough Wednesday once again. I'm going to show you a nightmare deal. This is a rehab project, one of my first deals, where a contractor ran off with money. And this was allowed to happen because I wasn't experienced enough. I didn't understand the deals, how they move, how the rehab's supposed to flow, and what the show work looked like. So we're going to dive right into an inspection video of this property where we're just looking at kind of the staging of it and all of the show work, all of the warning signs, so that I can take my 300 plus rehab projects of knowledge and give it to you slowly but surely in these walkthrough Wednesdays. So let's dive right in. So this is one of my eyes and ears just walking into a deal, and this is what we're looking at right from the bat. We're seeing a weird mixture of things, right? So what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at finished sheetrock or an attempt at finished sheetrock with essentially still demolition work. And this is a warning sign that you'll see kind of all the time where there's walls that really should be demoed, where you're just seeing the sheetrock is just completely damaged here. And then they're trying to splice it with finish work. This is showing you that the deal's being done out of order. How a deal is supposed to be done is you run in, you demo it first, you break it all the way down, you do your framing, you do your plumbing, your electric, your HVAC, and then you hit sheetrock. By the time you're hitting sheetrock, all demolition should be done. Even the staircase, if we're looking at it, it looks like there's still demolition work here with, some of the baseboards are just out of whack. They should have been ripped off a long time ago, certainly before you're finishing sheetrock. Really fast, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel and leave a comment in the comment section that says I subscribed. For everyone who leaves that comment, I'm going to send you instant access to my free real estate training that shows you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country. You don't want to miss out on that free offer. We have just a hodgepodge job going on. There, all these materials, windows are in the property, they're not installed. If you look at the sheetrock, the gaps in between the sheetrock are just really bad. The sheetrock's not going all the way to the walls. This is just a sign that a hack job is going on. The contractor is inexperienced, and they're trying to do something, but they're just not getting it done. We got wires sticking out of the wall, which that would be for like a thermostat. We just got everything going on and wrong. And when you see a wire just poking out of your sheetrock, it's a sign that the sheetrock's been put over outlets and been put over things that it shouldn't, have been put over. So what'll happen sometimes is if you bring in a sheetrock crew and they're running through a project really fast, they're going to cover your outlets. They're going to cover things that they shouldn't be covering. And this just creates secondary work because now you have to send in your electrician to find the outlets, and they're punching holes in your finished sheetrock. It's a nightmare. It's really a nightmare. We're also seeing a lot of trim. All of this old trim in these properties needs to be ripped out typically because it has lead in it. So when you're not ripping out that trim, you're creating secondary work for later in the project, because when you go to tenant this property, an inspector is going to come in, a lead inspector, and it's going to fail your project for that. But we're just seeing horrible. I mean, the sheetrock, it couldn't look any worse. There's also a lot of waste. Some of these cuts that are in this rock is just like, a first grader did it. I mean, it's just horrendous. This is waste. This little corner cut, it's complete waste. So that's one thing that people don't talk about a lot on rehab projects, is the waste involved with these deals. If you get lumber, sheetrock, different paint, different types of materials, and people aren't using them efficiently, you could have 30-40% waste on your rehab project, which from a cost standpoint, I mean, it's running your costs through the roof on materials for absolutely no reason. So using more contractors who are more experienced can save you a lot of money in terms of speed and just efficiency on materials, especially if you're paying for the materials yourself or even paying for the labor yourself, paying people by the day. It's really important that you cut down on these things. All different types of scuff marks in your walls. Sheetrock is one of those things I've found where it's typically not worth saving. If the wall is up and the sheetrock's crumbling, or there's been wall plaster, it's very hard to save these walls typically. It's much faster, much more effective to just gut it and replace everything. But you're seeing right now just a complete hack job, right? This deal is being done 100% out of sequence, and that's the big telltale sign there. So it looks like we got another maybe 40 seconds. That if we go back here, that brickwork there, you don't want to see a lot of gaps in the brickwork. What you should do after you demo your house down to the 4 firewalls, if you're going that far, is you should look at the brickwork. If the bricks are, they have a lot of gaps, they haven't been resealed in a long time, you should have your mason go ahead and recoat the walls, reseal the brickwork to keep the property's structural integrity intact, right? The worst thing you can do is let these properties just fall to pieces, or just put up sheetrock and framing over bad brickwork, because these properties are old, right? These properties were built in the 1915s, 1920s. Some of these properties, they're 100 years old. They need structural work done to them very often. More hack job. Materials all over the place as well in your project. This makes it's very difficult to rehab a project with things all over the place where you can't even walk around. Things are leaning all against the walls. So how are we going to finish the walls? And we have ladders and sharp materials that are going to cut into the walls, cut into the floors, hanging all over the property. When people work dirty like that, when contractors work all over everything and they're stepping all over everything, it's also a warning sign that they're just completely inefficient, and they're going to continue to undo good work, which runs off your contractors. The best contractors do not want their good work undone. It's just like it's just a pet peeve of theirs, right? They just aren't going to deal with it. So you have to keep order in your project. If you come into a property and you see this type of sloppiness, you have to quickly jump in and say, look, we're not dealing with this, not today. We're going to tighten this up. I'm going to run my inspections through, and if you can't keep it tight, you're out of here. Because your best contractors won't work like this. They won't want to work with people who work sloppy, because they're constantly spinning their tail doing work, then somebody messes it up, they have to repaint it, then they mess it up again, and then your best contractors run off. Front door's not done. Windows aren't even demoed out. Your windows should be replaced before your sheetrock's even going up. There's just so many warning signs in a deal like this that it's hard for me to even, look how this guy's working. It's hard for me to even point everything out at this point, because I would have stopped this project a long time ago. But it's good for you guys to see this, because this is almost what you'll see in every project. And I'm going to continue to take you through different levels of this property in the next video that we cover. We need to go upstairs. We need to see the kitchen, the basement. We need to start to evaluate all of these different sections. This was just a living room, and we didn't even make it through to the kitchen yet. So there's a lot more to cover here, and things that you should watch out for, and warning signs that I want to point out to you guys. So make sure you, once again, like and subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment once you do it saying I subscribed. But you want to stay tapped in, because there's a lot to learn here. There's so many layers to this game, and I'm going to keep feeding you not only this type of stuff from rehab projects, but also new deals that we're inspecting to acquire, and how we need to look at those deals to know what we can save, what we have to get rid of, how we can build budgets. There's a lot of information in this game that I want to give to you guys. So stay tapped in. Walk Through Wednesdays. I'll see you next week.